What's up, YouTube? My name's Kiana Lee, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, honestly, kind of crazy that I'm even recording this video. I did not anticipate on doing this for maybe another 5 years, but life had its own plan, so here we are. I feel like you guys probably hate me because I've came on this channel like 7 times now. I said I was coming back. It didn't come back, and I'm gonna explain exactly why I didn't come back, because I didn't do it on purpose, I promise. Your girl been going through life. I've been finding myself. I've been getting myself together. But as you guys know, we got a new journey to go on, so I'm actually back this time. My first pregnancy, I missed out on recording so many things for you guys. We're not doing that this time. We're gonna get every little bit of content that we can possibly get. We got a lot to talk about. Not even a lot of y'all. I was gonna record this video a long time ago, but I was so depressed. I was just like, I don't want this video to be like a pity party. I don't want it to be a sad video. I want this to be, you know, happy, celebrating my new bundle of joy coming soon. So I waited. And then I actually had planned to film this video a few days ago, and then I got rushed to the hospital because I was having a health emergency, which I will talk about later in this video. But everything was just coming in the way of making this video. And then today came, and I was like, you know what, I'm ready. My plan was to be all dolled up for this video, but honestly, who cares? I look good enough. I look a little busted. But I'm pregnant, so give me a break. And I also have a headache, and yeah, we're just gonna take me how I am, and we're gonna be happy with that, because you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And y'all been asking for this video, so I'm delivering to the best of my capability, and y'all gonna be satisfied. So we just gonna get straight into the video, because we do got a lot to talk about. I don't have to go over it. I know you guys got a lot of questions, which I will be doing a Q&A soon, but I want to get the initial video out and not see my pregnancy. So I'm going to tell you guys just some of the things I think y'all want to know. And I've also got a lot of questions in my DMs, so we're going to address all those things today. So let's just go ahead and get into the video. It is so crazy for me to think that it has already been 4 years. I started this channel when I was 14. I'm now 18, and I definitely feel like I have changed as a person a lot. You know, as we probably expected me to. I was very young then, still young now, but I am a little bit older, experienced a little bit more, so I've definitely changed in a number of different ways. But we're gonna talk about that, and you guys are gonna experience it for yourself, because your girl's gonna be vlogging and stuff, and I want you guys to get to know me again. So for those who are new to my channel or have never seen my face before, I do have a 3-year-old daughter named Summer. I got pregnant with her when I was 14 and gave birth to her a few weeks before my 15th birthday. And I am now currently 18. I am 13 weeks pregnant. Gender is unknown as of right now. And I am due October 14th. I will be delivering this baby when I'm 19. So yeah, I gotta go through my birthday being pregnant. But you know, it is what it is. We're gonna still ball out and have fun. I don't know, I don't really know where to start. I thought I knew what I was doing when I started this video. Maybe I don't know. So like I said, I do not know what I'm having, but I do plan on doing a very small gender reveal. I was gonna have a party until I kind of got the impression that like it would be a waste of money, because I don't have very many friends to invite. I think it'll be better and more worthwhile to have a baby shower towards the end of my pregnancy and invite my family and friends to that. I am going to do something cute to announce the gender, but it's going to be very small, and maybe if it's not just me, it'll probably just be me and a couple friends or something like that. I think the biggest question that everyone has is like, how did Summer react to you telling her she's going to be a sister? I've got that question like 100 times, and honestly, I'm going to be completely honest, she did not react. I don't think she really knows yet. I tell her all the time, like, I'll pull my stomach out because I do have a baby bump now. I'll put pictures up because I don't feel like moving the camera. It's propped up on a lip gloss, and if I move it, I'm gonna have to redo all that. I do have a baby bump now. I be telling her to like talk to the baby and like kiss my stomach and stuff, and she understands that. My brother, I have a 4-year-old brother, for those who don't know, he understands like fully. He's always coming in my room and asking me if he can talk to the baby. and things like that. Sometimes he'll even ask me if the baby has a phone so he can call the baby. He'll ask me if I can take the baby out. He's already obsessed, but my daughter, she hasn't quite like grasped onto the fact that like she's going to be a sister. I feel like once I get further along in my pregnancy, she'll start to understand, or maybe she won't. I don't know. I really don't know how that works with like 3-year-olds. I'm not sure, really not sure. But I did ask her one day if she wanted a brother or a sister, and she was like, no. That's literally what she said. She said no. And I was like, oh. So I asked her again like a couple weeks later, and she said she wants a sister. It's just so funny how first, like, initially she was just like no, didn't say girl or boy, didn't say brother and sister, she said no. I know another question that you guys probably have, and this is definitely kind of TMI, but like, I do YouTube, you guys are gonna ask these questions, so I'm gonna have to answer to the best of my ability. A lot of people have wondered, is this baby's father the same as my daughter's father? It's not. Next, I'm gonna talk about like how my family reacted. It was interesting. Nobody was really mad, which was what I was shocked about, because I did not plan this pregnancy. It did happen unexpectedly, and honestly really randomly. But nobody was mad per se. I would say everyone was just like, yeah, okay. That's like quite literally what it felt like. Everyone was just like, okay. How that went down basically is, I told my mom that I had missed my period, and she knew I was sexually active at this time, so she was like, okay, did you use protection with this person? And I said no. So she already had it in the back of her head that, okay, Kiana might be pregnant, but she never scolded me about it. She was just like, I mean, there's nothing we can do now, let's just wait to see if a test comes back positive, because for a while my tests were coming back negative, but I was so like certain that like something is wrong, something was off. I felt different. Like, I think I knew I was pregnant from the get-go. Like, first week of being pregnant, I knew I was pregnant, because like the way my stomach was cramping, it was like nothing I'd ever felt before. Like, it wasn't like a period cramp, but it was at the same time, but it just felt like weird. And then sometimes I'll wake up and be nauseous, but like my test kept coming back negative, so I was like, okay, either something's really wrong with me or it's just too early to take a test. And Google kept telling me like, wait until your next period is supposed to start. And the problem with that is that my periods are irregular. So not only did I not know if I was ovulating during the time that I had sex, I also never knew when my next period was gonna come. So it was really tricky, because technically you can't get pregnant if you're not ovulating. So the fact that I just happened to ovulate at that exact time blew my mind, because I was like, my luck is either really bad or this was just meant to be, because there's no way. That's how that happened. I was waiting on a test to come back positive. My mom had already had like an idea in the back of her mind that like, okay, Kiana might be pregnant. So one day we went to the store, got me a test, and I was like, I think we're gonna wait a couple days to take this, because I just feel like it's too early. But I swear the test grew eyes and was staring at me from across the room. Like, I swear the test was just watching. It was like looking at me from my dresser, and I was just like, maybe I should take it. So I went to the bathroom, I took that test, and it said positive immediately. And I was like, if that ain't spidey senses, I don't know what is. Quite literally what I did was I went to my mom's room, I showed her the test, and she was just like, what do you want to do? I was like, I think I'm gonna keep it. Called my granny. She was like, you're gonna keep it? I was like, yeah. She was like, congratulations. And as the weeks progressed, it started being more clear to me how supportive my family really is of this, which blows my mind, because never once was anybody really mad. And they were just like, you know, you already have one kid and you raised her pretty well, you can handle having another one, and we're still gonna help you and support you just like we did with the first. We're gonna love this baby just like we did with the first. And that meant everything to me, still means everything to me. But like, if I can credit anything right now for why I'm so sane throughout, you know, I have been going through a lot throughout this pregnancy, and I am not that far along at all. Like I said, I'm only 13 weeks. Actually, let me see actually how far along I really am. I'm 13 weeks and 3 days. That's a short amount of time, honestly. It's pregnancy wise. That's still very early pregnancy. So for me to have gone through as much as I have went through in this pregnancy and still be able to sit here in front of this camera with a smile on my face and record this video shows me that something went right. And that thing that went right was my family. How supportive they are, how much they have my back, how helpful they've been. The helpful part is the part that really blows my mind, because you know, they don't have to be helpful, they don't have to be supportive, but they are. And I'm not gonna say I didn't expect it because they're bad people or anything like that. It's just I am young with 2 kids. Why should I just automatically expect them to be supportive? But they are. You know, there's nothing else I can say other than the fact that they are supportive, and that does mean the world to me. Now we're gonna get into the child's father. Okay, so I've been trying to figure out how exactly I want to word this for a really long time, because I don't really know exactly what to say. The person that I got pregnant by is somebody that I was talking to for, I say, 6 months prior to this all happening. Somebody that I was seeing for 6 months. Someone that I was having sex with without protection for 6 months. Someone that I was very infatuated with. And a couple months ago I wouldn't be able to say this, but now I can say it. I was really blinded by how much fun I was having with him to even realize how like temporary it really was. Because, and the reason I said that is because walking into meeting him, I didn't want to meet him. You know, I think for months I had been single. I wasn't talking to no guys. I was living my best life, just hanging out with my friends and being a mom. Like, that was all I was doing with my life. Like, I wasn't really into guys at the time. I was really focusing on me, and I wanted to keep it that way till this day. If I could go back in time, and I don't hold regrets, but I'm saying this to further project how my future is gonna go. If I can go back in time and have kept focusing on myself, I would. Hence why, for the rest of this pregnancy and for the rest of time to go on, for a very long time, until I absolutely find somebody who is really worth my time, I'm gonna focus on me. Because not only did this certain situation show me how important it is to just be alone, especially at this young age, other things I've been through with my exes showed me that, like, love at this age is just useless and harmful, to say the least. And basically when I met him, the reason I say I was blindsided by love is because it never was, I don't want to say it never was a good relationship, because at first it certainly would, but you can look back at, you know, all our text messages. If there was a way I could press play so that you guys could see every encounterment I had with this man, you guys could clearly see the shift, like when the shift started, when he started acting different towards me, and I just never saw it. When I first had met him, we talked every day. We stayed on the phone until the sun went up. We were getting to know each other. You know, we was in like the puppy love phase. Everything genuinely had felt perfect. And then as time went on, he started going into the, I don't want a relationship, I'm not ready for a relationship, I like you, but I'm not trying to do all that. And I just saw it as, okay, he wants to work on himself. Okay, that's fine. You know, he's not sitting here telling me that he wants me out of his life. Okay, let's just be close friends, or let's just talk and not be dating or whatever. If a guy tells you that he does not want to be with you, that's what it is. And I can't stress that enough. Like, that's quite literally what it is. You cannot sit around waiting for somebody to be ready. Now, there are situations where I've heard of some women wait for a man to be ready, and eventually they are ready. But there's just so many situations where a girl waits for a guy to be ready, and then they never are, and it does nothing but tear them down as a person. And that is quite literally what happened to me. He's away at school, I'll say that. So I hadn't seen him for a whole month because he was not in my city. So he ends up coming home, and we see each other for the first time. And of course, you know, did the do. And I ended up being pregnant. In the midst of all that, before I had took the positive test, I was open with him. I told him that, like, I think I might be pregnant. And I think that he was so hopeful that I wouldn't end up being pregnant. He didn't let it faze him, so he just kind of fed me a false reality as though I would be pregnant, if that makes sense. Like, he was so confident that that test would never say positive. He just went along with it. You know, he talked about baby names with me. He told me he would never leave. Long story short, I took that pregnancy test, and it quickly, within 24 hours of me taking the test, it turned into, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to see your face no more. That's what it turned into. Now, do I have confidence that this person is going to be a father? I do. 100% I do. He said it time after time, which honestly, it might not make me feel happy per se, but it's understandable when he says this. He says, I'm gonna be a father. You know, basically that's his priority now. He has to be a father. He says he's gonna be a father because he has to, but he's not gonna deal with me because he doesn't have to. Now, you know, that as a statement, that makes sense. You know, I'm gonna be a parent because that's my obligation, and I'm not obligated to talk to you and be with you, so I'm not gonna be with you. But that hurt me. That hurt me bad. Although things were so rocky between me and him, he can even admit not one day had passed without me and him talking. You know, this was my person throughout everything, throughout all the trials and tribulations. This was still the same person that I came to every day, talked about my life, talked about how I felt, talked about random things with. This was my person for the past 6 months, right? To wake up pregnant with this person's child and not even be able to contact them put me into a spiral of depression that I'm still struggling to get out of. But if you would have saw me a couple weeks ago, you would have thought I needed help so bad. Because I did. I still feel like I need some help to help myself gain the strength back to just be okay with him leaving the way he did. I do put some blame on myself because I feel like I held him to a standard that I never should have held him to, simply because I was so blinded by love. You know, somebody, he's attractive. I enjoyed being around him. He made me laugh, he made me smile, he made me feel good about myself. I loved how that felt. So I let that, you know, I let that whole, it's almost like I let that create a false image of him that was never really there. Because if that person was ever really there, that I so claim cared about me so much, loved me so much, made me feel so good about myself, he would have never walked away from me the way he did when I popped up pregnant. A lot of people ask, okay, if he's treating you so bad, why didn't you get an abortion? I knew I could possibly be pregnant for 4 weeks. 4 weeks before I ever got a positive test. I sat and felt nauseous. I sat and felt all those cramps. I sat and felt everything. Every emotion, every single twist and turn in my life. I felt that for 4 weeks. I had 4 weeks to sit and think about that. Think about what I was gonna do. And talked about it with him. And he, like I said, fed me this reality that we were gonna be able to do it. And when I heard him say, you know, the baby names and what if it's a girl, what if it's a boy, the comments like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a father, the comments about how me and him could make it work together, just those things, when I heard those things, it made me feel like I'm gonna keep this baby. I'm gonna accept this bundle of joy. And abortions are banned now where I live. Do I have access to travel to get one? I could. But I don't disagree with abortions. I am 100%, you know, do what you want to do with your body. But me personally, I don't think I have the strength to do that, especially already having my first child. It's hard for me to look at an unborn child and think, I'm just going to get rid of you. I'm just going to throw you away. I'm going to take away that entire possibility, because I know myself. I know if I was to go get an abortion, I would have thought about it every day. And if I didn't think about it every day, it would be something that followed me for the rest of my life, thinking about what that baby could have been, who that baby could have been, how much happiness that baby could have gave me. I just don't personally feel like I could put myself in the predicament to get an abortion. And that was something that I struggled with for a long time after he left, was sitting and deciding what's worth it and what isn't. Do I want to get an abortion because he's mistreating me? Or do I want to listen to my family who's telling me, you have a wonderful support system, we can help you take care of your baby. If you're struggling financially, we got you. If you're struggling mentally, we got you. We got you in every single aspect that you could possibly be struggling with. I make money. I'm starting my career. I'm getting myself together. My daughter already is taken care of pretty darn well. I do 100% feel like I am fully capable of taking care of another child. I do. I can say that with a lot of confidence. So there is not a lick of fear in me when it comes to laying in a hospital bed and giving life to this child that I will have to take care of for every day to come. That doesn't scare me. I have done it once before, and I love being a mom. I cannot imagine my life being another way. I do feel like he would have never fed me this false reality that we could be parents together and that you wouldn't have left. Maybe I would have considered the abortion a long time ago. If you would have just straight up told me, I think you need to get an abortion, I think that's the only option, it would have hurt me. It would have. But that would have been a lot more easier to digest and really think about, rather than you sitting and telling me all these perfect things that every girl, or especially a young girl, every girl wants to hear these things, you know. I'm not gonna leave your side. We can do this with the baby. We can name the baby that. Why would you sit and tell me things you know I want to hear? And then when it actually becomes the reality, tell me, you don't get an abortion, I'm leaving. And then actually leaving. Blew me. Did I get that bribe? I did. I got that bribe. I got that bribe a lot. I still till this day hear that bribe come out of this man's mouth. I'll be with you if you get an abortion. Even after I've announced my pregnancy, I still hear it. That he will be with me if I get an abortion, and that hurts me every time I hear it. I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about the hospital visit I had, because that kind of ties into this last part I'm gonna say about him. He's not came to my doctor appointments. I've only had one doctor's appointment, but I've had 2 hospital visits. Hasn't been here for none of them. I've sent him pictures of the ultrasound. He doesn't say anything about them. I'll send him pictures of my baby bump. He don't say anything about it. His mother has came to everything, but her just being there, it gives my heart something that like it needs. It makes me feel something deep inside that I didn't know I needed. So like being able to look, my last hospital visit was traumatic. It was so traumatic, and to be able to call her and have her pull up to the hospital with me meant everything to me. Okay, we're gonna talk about my last hospital visit. So this happened earlier this week, and I was really contemplating if I was gonna make this video, because I don't know why what happened. So I was laying in my mom's bed, and all of a sudden I felt like pressure in my ass. Excuse my language, but I felt pressure in my ass, like in my lower stomach, in my pelvic area, going into my ass. I felt like this weird pressure, and I was like, okay, maybe I need to get up and like walk around and try to pass gas. I genuinely thought it was just gas that was just trying to pass. So I sat up in the bed, and I feel this rush going into my underwear of warmness. Because I was so scared to look down, because if I saw red, I was going to scream. So I looked down, and I just saw red. Red was just spreading in the, you know, crotch area of my bodysuit, and I had on gray, so like you could very clearly see that that was red blood. The only thing I screamed was, I need to go to the hospital. I screamed it loud. My mom was looking at me like, what is going on? So she tells me to go to the bathroom, go see if I need to pee, or just, I don't even know what her purpose was behind that. But I sat on the toilet and the pressure just got heavier. Like, I was like, I don't know if this baby's like sick of me and trying to get out, but like something is not right. So she calls 911. 911 says to have me sit still and for me to not get on the toilet. But I did that. So she calls the ambulance, and the ambulance, the EMS people come into my apartment, look at the blood, and I also was like losing a lot of like just clear fluid. And so I'm soaked. I'm quite literally soaked with blood and this random fluid. They look at me and they're like, you're having a miscarriage. Really, I wasn't having a miscarriage. I don't know what the protocol is when it comes to EMS people telling you what's wrong with you, but the fact that the EMS people, it wasn't just one person who said this, they both literally looked at me and both said, you're having a miscarriage, because that is what it looked like. Even my stomach was deflating. My round stomach was like, it was like getting like smaller and just like lumpy. Like you could actually see like my, I don't know you want to say my insides, like you could see where the baby was. Like it was weird. And I was in so much pain, y'all. I was in so like excruciating pain. There was blood everywhere. There was this liquid everywhere. It looked like I was having a miscarriage. I was convinced. And then they said I was having a miscarriage, so I was even more convinced. So I get on the ambulance or whatever. I don't cause public outbursts, so I was very calm. I wasn't like really crying. I mean, maybe had like 3 tears come out, but I was just kind of sitting there like, if anything, emotionless, because I was sitting there thinking I had so many thoughts going through my head. Like, that's my type of anxiety attack. I don't scream and cry. I shut down to the point where I'm just sitting there. I'm in just like shock, basically. So, but I get to the hospital. Worst hospital experience of my entire life. Will never go back to this emergency room ever again. This is my first time in this emergency room, and it is the last time I will ever go. But no sense of urgency. Doctor didn't come to see me for like 10 minutes. Doctor came to see me. I didn't see nobody else for maybe 40 minutes. Pissed me off. Really pissed me off. And then the doctor was a dodo bird. Like, I think that I could have done a better job than him. Like, he was just like, if y'all think I was emotionless sitting in the ambulance, he was emotionless. He did not like his job, and you could just see it written across his face. He hated his life. So I had a dodo bird doctor, and nobody was coming to check on me. So I had a lot of time to sit there and think. So my mom got there. Okay. Then my dad got there. Okay. The baby Polly's mom got there. Okay, so we're all there. We're just talking about it, and they're like, "Where's the doctor? Hello." So my mom starts complaining. So finally, one of the CNAs come in. She's not really authorized to do anything, but she tried to figure out what was going on and why they were not coming to see me. So I'm not gonna talk too much about how they mistreated me, but I'm gonna fast forward to what did happen. So I went to get an ultrasound eventually. Now this is after I had already bled all over the hospital bed. Now the bleeding had not stopped, baby. The bleeding had kept going, and that's why I was really concerned. Like, why are they not coming to treat me? I'm bleeding out on the bed. They didn't give me no pads to lay on or anything. Like, I was just bleeding into the bed, bleeding the sheets. I was just like, okay, y'all want to look like a murder scene in here? It's just going to look like a murder scene because y'all let me bleed out everywhere. I'm not going to say the hospital name because I ain't trying to get nobody fired, but ultrasound techs are not allowed to show you what they see on your ultrasound because that's not their job. That the doctor needs to tell you those things, and the doctor don't even know what's going on with the ultrasound. The ultrasound gets sent to a radiologist, and then the radiologist sends information back to the doctor. But she shows me the baby. Baby is just in there moving its arms, heartbeat. You know, like on the ultrasound thing, like the baby's heartbeat is like a flickering light. Light's just flickering. Baby's in there moving its arms around its head. I looked at the screen. I was like, I looked at her. She said, "Baby has a good heartbeat, and the baby's in there moving." It was at that moment I knew that this little baby in me right there, it want to be my baby. It want me to be its mommy for sure. Cause I lost so much blood, guys. I lost so much blood. It's really under the impression that like something that went wrong. You know, so basically baby's heartbeat was very good, very strong, very normal. They came in the room, they said, I don't know what's wrong with you. That was all. Nobody till this day knows why I was bleeding. This is me. My little bobblehead baby. Is this upside down? But that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and go follow me on Instagram, and I am Kiana Lee. I'm gonna post a poll for some Q&A questions, so be on the lookout for that, and I will see you guys in the next video.